Hello everyone, this is Rochelle Rosenberg. We are back again on earn this Learn the Basics Art 101. And last time we have actually talked about lines, and we have learned the importance of lines. In terms of art, it is a moving dots, contour lines, it is the outline, and then we have the line quality that describes the image you are drawing, and the cross contour lines that describes about where the light is coming from and where's the darkest of a subject we are drawing. So today we have another different tutorial to do and another learning. All right, so let's go. Right. So today we're gonna cover up shape, and we have to understand what does shape does in creating art, drawing, or even painting. It covers even whenever you are doing your photos, when you are taking pictures, and whenever you are making videos, if you are a video creator. Right. So let's just begin. All right. And maybe I have to lessen my music so that you could hear me. So this is one of the secrets of art. And from the lines that we studied the last time, it actually has a lot more to share. But if you want to learn more, you have to join my webinar lessons and just PM me for that. So let's begin into the topic. So this is the part one of shape, and it's the same with lines. There are three parts, but I just showed you just the roundup of its meaning. All right. So shape in terms of art is a closed contour or a defined area. Imagine the surrounding of this shape. This is like a liquid shape, and this is the closed contour. Right, it's the same with this. It's the same with triangle, with the circle, and the other shape there, the liquid shape. Now shape is two-dimensional, meaning it has only length and width. It has length and then width. All right, so if I tell you about this notebook, this is a shape of a rectangle. All right, it's a rectangle. So it has the height and then it has the width. So it means that it has the broad, and you will know how long it is and how wide it is. Okay. So that's how we manage. Even a round has its length and its width. It's the same here. How wide is it? For example, when you spilled water, there can be like a trace of how long it was or how wide it is. All right. Now let's go on to the other forms. Although there is an infinite number of shapes, certain shapes can be identified. So it's easy to identify a circle, a square, a triangle. This is supposed to be presenting a pentagon, but it looks more like this. And we have the arrow, the heart, the human shape, and most of the nature, animals, and the things that we usually use nowadays. All right, and all the shapes will fall into one of the two categories: geometric shapes or regular shapes are easy to recognize. You can usually use math to find information about these shapes because these shapes generally have a specific name associated with them, just like a circle, a triangle, and then a square and a pentagon, right? Now, organic shapes or free form, this is the second term, all right? This is the second category in which it states over here. So it is a free form shapes are shapes that are seen to follow no rules. Organic shapes generally do not have a name associated with them and are typically not man-made. So when we say not man-made, it is not like the headband, it is not like the microphone, it is not like my cup, because all of these things that we see around us, this one is a man-made, the guitar is a man-made, right? So what are the things that are not man-made? It is the living things like animals, the trees, the water, fish, and humans. So we are not man-made. But when it comes to the shapes of the organic, they are in free form. So you can find big, you can find small. There are no rules which says it's too big, it's too small, but they come in different forms. So you can find a small fish, baby fish, and a very large whale, right? You can find water. Um, if you feel a glass, then you know that it's just one glass. If you feel a container, then you know that it's a very huge water container. And when it comes to the trees, you know them by how tall they are and how wide their standing is, right? And even the birds, right? So that is organic. So geometric are ones that has a decisive shape. For example, there's a microphone. It has a different shape. It is round, and this one is also a shape. All right. But if we look on the shape, it is a triangle. Okay, you can see it from here. It's a triangle. It has three dimensions. Okay, it has three dimensions. And then mathematically, this rectangle has also four dimensions. One, two, three, and four. All right. So now you can see that there are different identification when it comes to mathematically, but the organic ones doesn't have that. So if you look on my face, there are no specifically shapes that you can count onto. You cannot count how many corners I have on my mouth, because if you count them, they are not generally easy to identify. So we can learn to see the world around us in shapes. Recognizing the shapes that we observe will lead to improve drawing and painting skills. So these are ones of the secrets that painters and drawing skills does, right? So shapes defined by objects are positive shapes with spaces, and then shapes defined around objects are negative shapes with another space as well. So you can see that I have marked here with blue, negative, and positive red. So the negative ones, these are the spaces. These are the negative shapes, and these are the positive. The positive shapes are the ones, the lines, and the forms that forms the chair. Because if you remove all of these lines, it will not create a chair. All right. So they are the lines that create shapes. So under the chair, you can see that there's a rectangle shape. And if you look at the chair itself, if you're standing right there and looking down at it, it is a square. And here you can also see squares with the small rectangular shapes and lines. All right, there are lines. Okay. So the relationships that exist between the positive and negative shapes help the brain of you viewers to understand what you are seeing. So the shapes determine as well. For example, when you are looking at a cup, your brain knows that the mouth of the cup is round. And you know that over here, the handle creates an oval shape, right? So our brains are even capable of making sense of complex relationships between positive and negative shapes. So if you look at this bicycle, you can see there are different shapes and lines here, all right? But since we are just covering the shapes, you can see different types of forms in here. There are triangles, there are few of them, or many of them, and there are round. Do you know those um, IQ tests when it comes to shapes and the relationship of shapes? Those are actually one of the tests that generates the understanding of your brain, the logic, right? So now I hope that that you can have a little bit of idea and picture what this means. So we're gonna go to part two. So by organizing geometric and organic shapes, we can draw anything. I mean, anything. So I'll just gonna show you, for instance, we're gonna draw this with a pen because then I will have no chance to erase it. So for example, we're just gonna look at the crab, all right? So I'll write the crab. It's an oblong, all right? So it's an oblong, you can see that. And now we're gonna create its cloth. So we're gonna start maybe from the middle. There are two creates there, and then another one on each sides, right? One there, and then a little bit like that, all right? So now, if we create it this way, this looks so awful for you, right? Maybe some of you think this is the awful thing you could draw, but actually, this is the beginning of learning how to draw, right? And how to grow. So now we're gonna go and create those big claws here. So you can see from here that this is a little bit of triangle. So we're gonna create a triangle over there, right? If you have a pencil, of course, it's easy to draw them because you can erase. And now we're gonna go to another triangle over here, right? Another triangle there, and another triangle there, right? So it looks a little bit awful at the beginning, but then if you have a pen, it will actually look different. And then you have to create another long square and a triangle, maybe a little bit like so, and the same there, that. And what you actually does in here is that you create the form. So what you can do is if you have a pencil, you can create those shapes. You can refine them. See, you can refine them. And you can actually create it so. And over here, all right. And here, and you can refine the drawing, all right? So that's how you start the drawing, okay? Until you create the basic shapes. So try on a flower or on a cup. Now on the other picture, you can see a hand. Even complicated objects become easy to draw when we isolate basic geometric and organic shapes. So if you can see it here, it's already drawn for you with cubes and with squares and the cylinders. So I hope that from the last time when you learn about lines, I hope that you'll be encouraged. So for me, I would like to encourage you to actually join my art webinar lessons. I can teach you one by one, or I can teach you one on one, or we can have a session here. I can have up to 9 people to teach you on a video recorded, right? And you will watch me draw, and we will get along on drawing, all right? So I'm gonna be sharing you soon a link on how to join it, right? So bye for now.